Space weather. Date January 8, 2013, 2200 hours UTC. Prepared jointly by the United States Department of Commerce, NOAA, Space Weather Prediction Center and the United States Air Force. Analysis of solar active regions and activity from January 7, 2100 hours Z to January 8, 2100 hours Z. Solar activity has been at moderate levels for the past 24 hours. The largest solar event of the period was an M3 event observed at January 8, 347 Z from region 1947, N11W98. There are currently 4 numbered sunspot regions on the disk. Geophysical activity summary January 7, 2100 hours Z to January 8, 2100 hours Z. The geomagnetic field has been at quiet to unsettled levels for the past 24 hours. Solar wind speed, as measured by the ACE spacecraft, reached a peak speed of 398 km per second at January 7, 2141 Z. Total IMF reached 8 NT at January 8, 2017 Z. The maximum southward component of BZ reached -6 NT at January 7, 2352 Z. Protons greater than 10 MeV at geosynchronous orbit reached a peak level of 972 pfu at January 8, 2030 Z. Protons greater than 100 MeV at geosynchronous orbit reached a peak level of 4 pfu at January 7, 2240 Z. Electrons greater than 2 MeV at geosynchronous orbit reached a peak level of 792 pfu. The largest sunspot group observed this solar cycle produced an X1 flare on January 7 and is likely to cause solar activity to remain moderate to high for the next few days. ACME observed on January 4 gave the Earth a glancing blow around 1400 hours UTC, resulting in a step up in the solar wind and a small increase in geomagnetic activity. ACME associated with the X1 flare is expected to reach Earth late on January 9, producing further geomagnetic activity. On January 8, the solar wind is expected to be light. The effects of the January 4 CME will continue, abating later in the day. HF conditions will be mostly normal, though short-wave fade-outs are possible. A proton event is in progress. Update on the X1 flare and potential northern lights. SWPC forecasters are anticipating G3, strong, geomagnetic storm conditions to occur on January 9 and 10. The source of this disturbance is a fairly fast Earth-directed coronal mass ejection, CME, launched from centrally located region 1944 at 1832 UTC on January 7. Full evaluation and modeling of this event has refined the forecast and indicates a fairly direct interaction with Earth, with the WSA and LIL model putting arrival mid-morning UTC on January 9. In addition, the S2, moderate, solar radiation storm associated with this event is currently near, but below, the S3, strong, threshold, with values leveling off at this time. At the Sun, region 1944 remains well placed and energetic. What does all of that mean? It means that if you live in the northern latitudes, you will have a good shot at seeing the northern lights on the 9th and 10th, if you have clear skies. It also means that if you were planning to do a spacewalk in the next few days, it would probably be a good idea to postpone. Wouldn't want you out there doing a spacewalk with protons headed our way. Solar activity forecast. Solar activity is expected to be moderate with a chance for X-class flares on January 9, January 10, January 11th. Geophysical activity forecast. The geomagnetic field is expected to be at quiet to severe storm levels on January 9th, unsettled to severe storm levels on January 10th, and unsettled to active levels on January 11th. Protons are expected to cross threshold on days January 9th, January 10th, January 11th,